host, Nelson, with Cascade Sports. And tonight we got one of our local people on that is achieving great things with their life, especially through sports, using that as a springboard to do bigger and better things from an academic standpoint. Who do we have here?
I'm Tarrion Moore.
Hey, Miss Moore, tell our audience a little bit about yourself. Let's go back to kindergarten, honey.
All right. I'm originally from Kansas City, Kansas. I started playing bitty ball in Wichita for Coach Scales. Eventually moved back to KC.
What grade was you in? They got to know the progression. We go on the progression from kindergarten. Who was your coaches? What you learned from them coaches, and how you progressed in the sport. And we'll talk about the academic progression.
Okay. I think I was in maybe like kindergarten, first grade when I first started, and I said Coach Scales was my coach, my bitty ball coach, and he was my coach up until I moved back to Kansas City.
What grades?
Kindergarten through like third grade.
Third grade.
Mm-hmm. And then I moved back to Kansas City, like going into fourth grade. I don't think I started back like playing competitively AAU basketball until sixth grade. I started playing with the Running Angels with Coach David.
Uh-huh. What did you learn? Also, talk about what you learned at each stage of the game, about yourself. You follow me?
Yeah, I get what you're saying. I just didn't at the time, like, especially like looking back now, I didn't really know much about the game. I was just playing. Like, so I can't really sit here and say like what I learned during those times when like I didn't realize what was really like happening, what was really going on, what really going to the game and stuff like that.
And well, I'm talking about per se in retrospect. You know, you played for this coach and you know what you came away with per se. You don't know, that's what I'm saying. What you came away with at each stage of the game, because when those young high school kids look at your interview, especially the ones that played bitty ball all the way up, they'll see the common thread.
Mm-hmm. Okay, I'm following you. So you want me to backtrack then?
Well, hold on. We conversating. We really not interviewing. We conversating. Yeah, if you've got to backtrack.
When I was with Coach Scales, that like kindergarten through third grade period, I think the biggest thing that I learned was just toughness, and really that's about it. Because Coach Scales is a hard-nosed coach. Like honestly, like off rip kindergarten first, it didn't matter. But and then starting playing with the Running Angels, I think some things that I learned really from there was more so in life. I gained like a lot of personal friends from playing with them. So I think more so I took away a lot of life lessons than basketball lessons when I was playing with the Running Angels.
And what grades were you in with the Angels?
6 through 7, because my 8th grade year, I started playing with Coach Derek Zach with Lady Mocan. And I played a year with them. I was blessed to play with a lot of Division I athletes.
Was you starting? Let's talk about what position you played and all of that. We got to get a full-blown picture of you, or it's going to be hell to pay for Mr. Nelson.
I'm a guard. I'm an interchangeable guard. I play 1 through 3, so I could play the point 2, and I'm a slasher 3. So I'm not really like what is a small forward 3? No, I'm more of a slasher guard 3. But wait, what was the next question?
All right, so you was talking about the Running Angels. You went through that about 8th grade and so forth. Let's talk about how did you rank yourself, or how were you ranked at that time with the local talent? And you were playing guard, right?
Mm-hmm.
How was you ranked as an 8th grader per se? Talk about all of that, because that's going to be the jump in the 9th grade. That's when you're getting in a larger pool. Run it down.
I don't remember exactly what number I was ranked, but I was ranked on ESPN.
Yeah, yeah, that's what I'm saying. That you wasn't just a run of the mill. That they had to start taking notice of you, because now they be taking notice of kids. They be in 3rd grade. They be like, "He gonna be on the Knicks."
Yeah. No, yeah. I was ranked. I don't remember what number I was, but honestly, like I never really paid attention to that. Honestly, I never really like it. Never mattered to me. Clearly, I don't remember what number I was.
So when you was getting ready to make that jump to high school, how did you choose what high school you went to?
Well, actually, when I was playing with Derek Zach, another assistant coach that coached with him, David Johnson, who was friends with my dad. They played high school ball together at Wnba.
At the dot. That's all your dad talk about when he does his interviews for Cascade. He be talking about that dot.
Yeah. And so, you know, they hooked up and decided that Leavenworth was probably the best school for me educationally and for my basketball career, and which it was. So I went there and I played all 4 years of high school there.
Freshman, don't you're going a little too fast for the people. You're covering too much ground. We're not fast breaking it. We setting it up. All right. So your freshman year, tell our audience a little bit about your season and what you was doing as a freshman, in your personal life, even how that changed from 8th grade to when you get in high school.
Yeah. No, definitely it was a change going into high school because I'll probably say, unlike most people who enter sports and athletic going into high school, my mindset was just like, this is just basketball. Like I'm here to, like we here to win. We here to take state. We here to get better. And like the things in the work ethic that they instilled in us there, freshman, sophomore, junior, and senior year, was just things that I was able to also take with me to college. But
all right, your freshman play, I'm keeping it moving on the fast pace. Now we fast breaking down. What was your freshman play like, and did you start?
Yes, I started all 4 years of high school.
All right, run that down, and run the team camaraderie down. Talk about you starting as a freshman. What kind of pressure that was put on you? Not from knowing that there were upperclassmen that you were taking. There's only 5 spots on the on the floor. You know where I'm going. Talk about that, and how do you gel with your team? You the new girl coming in, and now it's almost like, you eating my damn lunch.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, like I didn't really pay attention to that. Like I didn't pay attention to anything other than winning, working hard, and getting better, because I didn't look at myself like a freshman, and I didn't look at them like they were juniors and seniors.
How did they accept you? That's what I'm saying.
I mean, they just had to accept me. I mean, they were.
Well, a lot of times, let me tell you this. I done thousands of interviews. When a lot of times they don't accept you, they be on the court. They're not giving you the ball like they should.
No, we didn't really have too much of that, because that is one thing that Coach Zach one thing Coach Zach did well was make sure that roles were established and people knew the roles that they played. And, the role you got was the role of the effort that you gave. So you can't, it probably was some, hatred and, jealousy, but that's everywhere. But I can't sit here and feel bad in my feelings about what position you got when you didn't put the work in to get there.
There we go. Now we're telling the story. Yeah, that you didn't care. It's not like you didn't care, but hey,
I wasn't paying attention.
Coach got me here, and this is what I'm doing, and you do what you're supposed to do. We're gonna win.
Yeah, and that's what it was. I came out there. I was, even all through my 4 years of high school, I was never like the leading scorer or, just.
What role was you playing as a freshman?
I was a point guard.
I'm saying. Well, and controlling the team and all of that. I'm saying, what was that like? that 8th grade play and that 9th grade and then varsity, that game speed up. Them girls are larger.
Yeah, it was, but I mean, like I said, it's all about how you look at things, and I didn't look at it as they were giants. You know what I mean? I looked at it as they were human.
You do anything special your freshman year?
Yeah, we won state. We won state my freshman sophomore year.
All right, yeah. Well, I'm glad the whole team did, but I'm only interested in what you was doing. Did you put any numbers up that you want to talk about, or any?
No, not really.
Not really.
Like I said, I was never like the main scorer or anything, but I led the team in assists and steals. I averaged probably like 8 points. I did my role.
General on the floor.
Mm-hmm.
Was you the type of guard? I always ask you guards. It's 1 minute left in the game. Game's super tight. Your team done got out of sync. You got one timeout. Can you get your team back in sync without the coach calling that timeout?
Yeah.
General, all right. That's what's up. You know what I'm talking about, right?
Yeah.
How many times have that happened in your career?
A few times.
What was the outcome?
Some of them, they were good, and a few they were bad. But I mean,
Did you make the right decisions? Do you feel with that minute to go or something to go, did you make the right decision?
Yeah.
All right.
For the most part.
Yeah. All right. Run down your sophomore season and how you were feeling then, confidence-wise, and what were the academic challenges to you?
Going in sophomore year, I felt the same way. Just a little more confident especially after. I'm sorry, it's a gnat fly in here that keep like.
That's all right.
But
you country girl, you over there in KC, y'all used to that.
I felt a little more confident. It was a little more relaxed, but other than just being a little more comfortable and confident in how things go, everything was still the same. The mentality.
How was the academics?
I mean, it was easy. High school was easy. So.
Did you do anything exceptional, or that we can let the as you were building your resume as a baller?
In academics?
No, as a baller, when you was a sophomore, did you put some numbers, or what did you do? Tell the people, don't be modest.
The same thing. Led and steal and assist, and
All right. Well, my people don't know. They can't take that for granted. Let me tell you this. I have a bunch of scrubs coming on. They be like, I did this and I did that. Man, you didn't even dribble across the street. So what's some of the learning things that you felt as you were maturing as a player and as a student athlete? Where was your mindset going into your junior year?
My mindset going into my junior year was just more tightened and more focused, and it was just it was more about doing the three-peat. That was probably the biggest thing at that time.
Did you have any social life?
Yeah, a little bit.
A little bit?
Yeah, a little bit. Not really though. I don't really, do people.
You don't do that. You're not into all of that.
No, not really. Nah.
Trying to build what you need to do. Did you do anything? What did you become captain of the team?
Yes, junior year.
Yeah, well, people need to know. They see. Coach see that you growing.
I mean, yeah. I was...
All right. What was that like? Was that any type of a burden, being captain? And how did you feel that you needed to fulfill your obligation as a leader?
I wouldn't say it was a burden. The only obligations that I did feel like I had to feel was just being that example that was there from like showing the people who just got there and the people who didn't play as much how we do it and how we gonna continue to do it to make sure that we pick up
The culture at that school.
Mm-hmm.
When you was about to turn senior, that the summer like now, and you fall's coming, what was on your mind? Think about, we getting ready to go back to school. I'm gonna be a big time senior. What was that whole mindset like?
That year, honestly, was just we gonna get through the season. We gonna have a good season. If it's a bad season, it is what it is. But we taking this year, you know.
And no, I'm just saying, when you're a senior, not just with the sports, with being a senior in the senior class, and then basketball season basically closes out the winter stuff, and you on your way out the door.
Yeah, so honestly, I was really very content going senior year, all the way around.
When did you decide where you were going to go to college, and who was trying to recruit you?
I decided where I was going to go. I think it was in September or October. It was one of the two. But I know I signed in November though, so it would have to be sometime.
And who did you sign with? They don't know.
Little Rock, the University of Little Rock, Arkansas.
How you like that down there?
I loved it actually.
You loved it?
Yeah, it was a good experience. I learned a lot of lessons on and off the
court. To that now we're talking. What kind of lessons did you learn?
Coach Foley, he instilled a lot of great lessons just about working hard, how to work, discipline, and just, I don't know. I can't.
It almost codified a lot of things that you already had been taught, but mm-hmm. You see, it's a string that goes through sports in general, that mm-hmm. the more discipline, the more focus, all of that, you'll see progression in your game and everything else. Mm-hmm. Now, talk to me about being a student of the game. I talk to kids, I'm a student of the game. I watch the Knicks, I watch this. I'm like, that's not a student of the game, son. Talk to a young player about being a student of the game.
Being a student of the game, I can say, let me see, where do I start?
How much does that, if you really understand what being a student of the game is, how much does that elevate your game if you are a student of the game?
A lot. It elevates it a lot, because when you're a student of the game, you understand, okay, how can I put this? You start to look past the big
right, the physical part and what have you, and understand the chess match. That's what coaches do. That I'm a guard, and certain guards are going to do this. This guard going to go to his left, so I'm going to be ready.
Yeah. When you start to break down the game into the little pieces that matter, because that's, most people don't. A lot of coaches don't teach it because they don't know, and a lot of people don't know because they don't care to learn the game, or they not invested in it enough to know, or they never just been taught, like I said. But when you taught like how well I was taught with Coach Foley, you start to pick up on the things that matter, like as far as the smallest details in defense and the smallest details during conditioning that help you during times where other teams and other programs that they don't do, that you start to see how it that difference. Like
it separates you from being a D1 athlete a lot of times and being a D2 or whatever.
Because the game is the same, but the mental is just like chess. It's all about knowing the opponent, honestly. That's how I would put it out there.
So you went down there in Arkansas. You liked that. My understanding, you transferred, or what did you do?
Yes, I transferred to Illinois State going into my junior year.
What made you transfer?
I just wanted something better educationally, and you know, I love Little Rock, everything about it. To my teammates, the coaching staff, it was great, but I just felt like I wasn't getting my worth educationally, like especially with all the work that I was putting in. I wasn't gonna be satisfied walking away with a degree from somewhere I couldn't use.
And what was your interest in the field of education?
Communications.
All right. And so where'd you transfer to?
Illinois State.
And what kind of communications and journalism and all of that do they have up there? What they working with?
It wasn't so much the communication program. It was just more so the school and institution itself was better educationally.
All right. You start when you played with them?
Yeah, I started everywhere.
Yeah. Hey, you like, Mr. Nelson, stop talking to me like I'm a scrub. If I'm not going to start, I'm not on the court. Don't you know? All right. And we'll also talk about the different schemes. Playing at Arkansas, and give the young players a little bit about how you're the player and you got to adjust to the coach, because different coaches have different philosophies and you've been through it. Run that down a little bit also.
Adjusting to your coach is a big thing because, you know, some players are so emotional that they might get a coach that they don't know how to deal with and think that it's the coach, but it's them. You know what I mean? And
tell them to say that one more time. Loud. Yeah, say it. Hold it. You know these people can't listen. You try to tell them, but they're so bent on, no, it's coach. Do you know Coach Rodney Perry? He coaches MoCan Elite 17 and under. So my godson, he was one of the top 8th graders, started in the 9th grade, and he plays with the MoCan people. And so I'm interviewing him about MoCan and play. He's like, they won't let me play my game and this and that. So I call Coach Perry. I say, how come the kids be talking about you? As soon as they mess up, you take them out. And my godson is saying, they won't let me play. He says, all the kids say that. Carlos, don't you know? They won't let me do. But if they're not following what I'm telling them to do, they sit on this bench with me. Mm-hmm. And, you know, and have you had disagreements with coaches?
No.
You coachable athlete, but you've seen that in your career.
Mm-hmm. A little bit, not so much with with Coach Foley.
Well, I'm just saying, not you. You've seen players. That's what I'm talking about.
I'm saying not so much Coach Foley.
Oh yeah, well a good coach can communicate.
Yeah.
What accolades? What you do your junior year
there? Well, my red shirt junior year technically.
All right.
I started. I was newcomer. First team. I think was it newcomer of the year on the first team. Some newcomer team. Mm-hmm. I was newcomer of the week twice. What else?
When you started your senior year and you knew things is coming to a close, what's your mindset?
Well, technically, I haven't played my senior year yet.
Well, what's your mindset?
You know, just finish strong. Continue to do what you've been doing. You know, just listen, taking notes, and.
Do you have any aspirations of going to the WNBA?
No.
Why not?
They don't make enough money for me.
Oh boy, I like you. They don't make enough money. All right.
You put your body through a lot, and you know, I don't know.
What advice do you have for young girl athletes?
If it's something you really want to do, even if it's just to go to college or go professionally, just do it. You'll learn a lot in life if you look at it the right way. Honestly, that's all I can say, you know, and if you want to do it, go for it and look at it with, you know, intentions to learn from everything. That even players that don't play a lot still learn valuable lessons through basketball and just being around other people and going through the system and how it goes.
As you redshirt, do they let you sit on the bench or anything?
Mm-hmm.
So you, I was going to ask you this, but I was like, you're not a bench warmer. But since you've had that experience, because I always ask my players, if I can remember, what is it like to be on the bench and know that you're not going to play, and how do you stay in the game? So you lit up. Like, what do I know about any of that?
You know, I don't know how regular people feel, but me personally, you know, depending on the situation and while I'm sitting on the bench, you know, I just look at it as another perspective to see the game, because when you do sit on the bench, you do see the game a different way. So that's the only thing that I focus on, is how the difference, just how I'm saying.
And I'm saying, because see, you got players that they don't never get no playing time. They suit up and what have you. Do you have any empathy for them?
No.
Well, you're a killer. Your daddy is always talking about being a dog. Boy, that's you. Yeah, being a dog. All right. Do you, before we close, do you have anything that you would like to say? Any people that you would like to thank? Any shout outs that you would like to give?
You know, I'm just thankful for the journey, and I just appreciate you taking time out for this. And that's it.
All right. Well, it was a plum pleasing pleasure to have you on the show. And audience, I've already made my bid for her to try to come on and do some Cascade sports stuff, because you know we want some of the top athletes with the top IQs and have a sense of what's going on in their community, as well as understanding the role that they play in moving the needle forward for our community. And in closing, as I always close with, when you invest in your community, you're really just investing in yourself. And as you know, we go hard in the paint. And I mean, we go hard.
This program is brought to you by the City of Fountains Coaches Association.